Hello, we're back with our last installment of our long series on the doctrine of the church. In this video, we want to just discuss a handful of contemporary church issues. Not really to go in depth with them, but just to make us aware that these things are going on and some pluses and minuses as we talk about them. One of the first contemporary issues is the idea of the megachurch. This is a fairly new phenomenon, even though you may want to go back to the 1800s and the Metropolitan Tabernacle in London where Spurgeon was the preacher. It was huge. But today we are just seeing the explosive growth of enormous churches. Lakewood in Houston with Joel Osteen has I don't even know how many members, something like 40,000 people who go to this church, and many others are in the 5 to 25,000 range. These gigantic churches with tremendous resources are growing at an exponential rate. Thousands and thousands and thousands of people attend over multiple services, maybe even in multiple venues. Pluses and minuses abound for these. And really, it depends on the church. You really can't categorize it too much. One of the minuses could be that you get lost in the crowd. But on the other hand, one of the pluses could be that you get lost in the crowd. They tend to have lots of resources and are able to do things really well. Really professionally done, beautiful facilities, very seeker sensitive at times. But the mega church is here to stay. It's not going anywhere. Right along with the mega church comes the problem of what happens when we get too big. Well, we go to multi-site churches with satellite campuses that are not autonomous, but are connected to the mother church. Again, pluses and minuses abound. They're not their own church. They are a branch campus of the mothership. And we see these growing everywhere. Here where I live in Charlotte, we have one of the largest multi-site churches in America, and more on the way. Seeker sensitive, churches that proclaim a non-threatening message in order to attract people who are traditionally turned off by churches. This seeker sensitive movement is beginning to wane. It was very popular in the 90s, but now 15 years or so later, it's not quite got the same appeal that it did. Although I think the mega movement has sort of co-opted a lot of its methods and is now promoting the explosive mega growth. Emerging and emergent churches are not quite the earth-shaking trend that they were 10 years or so ago. Emerging churches, which tend to be a little bit more conservative, have kind of gone the mega route or even the quietly assumed regular church role. The emergent, which tends to be more liberal, will probably just slide into some form of Protestant liberalism. Church planting is a big buzzword these days and has been for the past 15 years or so. The idea is that by starting new churches, more people are reached with the gospel. Not sure that the numbers bear that out. I think church revitalization would help of churches that are struggling. We still are seeing the mainline decline. That's still in full force. The old mainline Protestant churches like the American Baptists and United Methodists and Presbyterian Church USA and the Episcopal Church and Congregational, they are just dying on the vine. The last one out just needs to turn out the lights. Continue to dying off to their commitment to Protestant liberalism. Almost 100 years ago, Karl Barth proclaimed liberalism has nothing to preach, but churches have not listened, and many of them are just dying away. Parachurch movements are still continuing a strong surge. Parachurch movements are Christian groups that are not a church but fulfill some of the functions of the church. specifically service and evangelism. And also one of the things that we see growing in the last 3 years is cyber church. People who are doing church on the internet. I'm not surprised with all sorts of social networking. E-church or cyber church is very much a possibility. And I think it could work if well planned and pulled off well. This video is not the place to discuss any of those. I just wanted to bring them to your attention. And this video will also wrap up our what seems to be exhaustive, and I know it's not, but it seems to be our exhaustive study on the church. We've been at this a while, and I thank you for hanging with it and staying with us. Once we finish the church, we're going to move on to the end, last things, and I hope you'll pick up and continue with some of those too. Thanks, and we appreciate you staying with us. Have a great day, and I hope to see you soon.